Yeah, I was just going live before this Tank Davis press conference get started. I want to see what kind of questions they're gonna ask. That's gonna happen in I want to say an hour. That Tank Davis is gonna be in a press conference with Jay Paul. Yeah, but now everybody after counting out Terrence Crawford, now they going through his options. But it sounds ridiculous. They talking about 175. And speaking of 175s, let me tell you what's funny about boxing fans. When when uh when Benavidez went to 175, everybody got on code and Canelo wasn't even a thought no more. They like, oh yeah, Benavidez is at 175 now. They wouldn't even think about Canelo no more. They acting like Benavidez had to move back to 168 or something. This dude was at that was funny. He at 175, and they moved him back to 168 that fast. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, this press conference should be popping up. Let me see. Oh, they moved it to 23rd. That's what I thought it was. 23rd. Hold on. So what is this? 22nd? Yeah, it's supposed to be on today. Yeah, so this supposed to be coming on today for New York. Yeah, it's coming on soon. Yeah, they probably ain't gonna ask no real questions. Let's be real. They probably not even gonna ask no real questions. But it will be starting today. That's crazy. But yeah, like I was saying, oh yeah, I already know. It's definitely the hate season. I like it. They try to play it off like, yeah, yeah, he won. You know, people don't like that he won. They definitely don't hate. They definitely don't like the Terrence Crawford won. Yeah, it's a lot of opponents people are talking about right now. They're talking about this dude fighting cruiserweights. But my thing is this, and I'm gonna say this: if no other guys at 168 who's already there, including and Billy, if none of those guys have tried to fight Benavidez before Terrence Crawford even tried, I'm not really impressed with those guys down there. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I'm not really bragging about 168 like that. It's cool, but they let Benavidez run all over the place, and they ain't try to fight him. That's why after Benavidez left, I just rock with like Martinez, Pacheco. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes ain't trying to fight nobody down there. They let Benavidez just run around all over the place at 168. Scared. That's why he the monster. They like, oh, we need Terrence Crawford to do our dirty work. Bro, why does Terrence Crawford got to go clean out every division? That's what these young guys is for. They got old men cleaning out divisions now. What's up, Dark Kent? He said, what's your thoughts on Floyd potentially making a fight with Bud? Floyd Mayweather potentially making a fight with Terrence Crawford? Uh, I don't know if that's real news, but I did post a video. What was it? Last week, and the video said this. I don't know if that's real, but I know this is real. Where is it at? Did you know that Manny Pacquiao was in negotiations with Terrence Crawford before Manny Pacquiao fought Mayweather? Mayweather, he's not trying to fight Terrence Crawford. He's known about Terrence Crawford. Him and Canelo and these guys, they've known about Terrence Crawford since 2014 at least. Look, this picture right here was 2016. These guys know who Terrence Crawford is. He's been the boogeyman. Yeah, he's been the boogeyman. Sometimes they gotta hide the boogeyman. You know how that goes. They don't put the boogeyman in front of everybody. If the guy has to go up fight Benavidez, he's obviously the boogeyman. He said, "What's my favorite division right now?" I was saying my favorite division. That's a good question. Um, I don't know. I would say probably. I mean, I like 60, but then I like 75. I'll say 75. 75. Yeah, I said 75. I'm trying to remember which one I had said this year. I think it was 75 though. Cause the dude I was actually looking forward to was the one that Morrell fought. That's kind of the guys I was thinking about. Him, Hamza Shiraz. That's what I was looking forward to watching coming into this year. So, but he's at 175, so that's what I was looking at. But that whole division, him, it's a lot of guys at 75 that can fight. So, but yeah, 75 my favorite weight class though. Yeah, Floyd. That's why, man. Trust me, Floyd already knows that people are not gonna look into it, but he could have fought Terrence Crawford a long time ago. A long time ago. He could have fought him a long time ago. Trust me. He definitely knows about him. Yeah, Floyd barely mentions Terrence Crawford now. So he knows. It's a lot of people out here who think they major Floyd fans. I be getting offended because I'm a bigger Floyd fan than some of these people who be reacting to people who talk about Floyd. Like, bro, these like relax, man. I done heard people let Floyd disrespect Muhammad Ali multiple times and ain't said nothing. So if you protecting Floyd more protecting than Muhammad Ali, we can't even have a conversation. A lot of these dudes they jump in front of a bullet for Floyd, but then Muhammad Ali name come up, they like, oh, he an old man. Floyd old too. He 50 years old. What you talking about? It's an old man too. Yeah, that's what really be going on. They be protective of certain fighters, and then Terrence Crawford's an all-time great too. Just because Canelo win the ring and lost to Floyd when he was young, that don't make him bigger than Terrence Crawford. But people is just they say being undefeated means something, right? Okay, Terrence Crawford undefeated, and he gets knockouts. That don't change how people look at him though. And people try to say, "Oh, well, Floyd got disrespected. He was fighting too." Like, like Terrence Crawford. No way. Not this long. By the time Floyd was 30, we already knew he was the best. This man is almost 40, and people like question him. But yeah, I don't think Floyd is going to jump in the ring with Terrence Crawford though. He had his opportunity. Him and Manny Pacquiao. They definitely didn't make that happen. Manny Pacquiao still fighting right now, and he won't even look towards Terrence Crawford's way. So yeah, people know what time it is though. They definitely know the truth. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. But that's crazy to me though. I was just sitting here thinking today, because I never really brought it up on my channel, but people let Ali get disrespected by Floyd Mayweather. Floyd like, oh, he lost to Norton 3 times anyways. That man dead, can't even defend himself. Oh man, he lost to Norton anyways. Just so you can try to defend yourself against a dead man? this man get this man arguing with a dead man, and people out here like, that's Floyd though. Like, man, shut up, man. People are disgusting. This dude arguing with a dead man. We can't even compare him to a fighter who alive. That's crazy. Yeah. I've been watching Floyd, what, at least, what years? Almost 30 years, but ain't nut hugging like that. That's insane. These dudes been watching 10 years and been like, yeah, get out of here. What, please? That's crazy to me. Yeah, it's getting out of hand though. But as I said though, I brought up a point, and I don't want to do no comparisons. I ain't here to, like I said, of course, Floyd is the best boxer that everybody's seen. I'm glad people finally admit it, because they were just saying recently that he lost to Manny Pacquiao and these other guys. And it was a close fight with this person and that person. So yeah, I'm glad they're finally admitting that they feel like Floyd is the best of all time. That's probably the only thing I've heard recently that people haven't said. Because yeah, a lot of people didn't say that, but they only saying that now because Terrence Crawford's in the conversation now. That's the bad news. Before that, people weren't running around saying nothing. You know, it's crazy. Before Canelo fought Terrence Crawford, people were saying, and this is why I'm kind of confused by the comparisons of Floyd and everything else. Before Canelo fought Terrence Crawford, people were saying, "Oh, Canelo will fight Floyd if they fought today. Oh, he'll beat Floyd. If they fought, he'll beat Floyd. If they fought, he was in his prime." Haven't everybody been saying that? They said if Canelo fought Floyd today, he would be in his prime. That's not something I ever talked about on my. I ain't never talked about that. I'm like, huh? If Canelo fought Floyd today, who talks like that? The same people that be like, oh man, why y'all bringing up Floyd? I ain't brought up Floyd, never. I never compared Floyd to anybody, especially not no Canelo if he fought him today. And that actually was a normal argument that people start making. That's how you know people was reaching. Yeah, that was some reaching right there. But if you look at the fighters that people want Terence Crawford to fight, I'm gonna say this right now, and this is real talk. If any fighter right now feels like they're better than Terence Crawford, if he sits up here and says, "Hey man, I would have beat Terence Crawford," I want to see that said fighter say, I want to see him fight David Benavidez at any time. I don't care if it's 2 years from now, 3, 4, 5. If any of these fighters feel like they on Terence Crawford level, to prove to me, because I guess the standard now is, in order to show that you're on Terence Crawford's level, you got to fight Benavidez. That's what I'm hearing. So whether it's, I'm just throwing it out there. Right now, I'm hearing everybody say, "Oh, you got to fight Benavidez to prove to me." Okay, so that means your favorite fighter got to fight Benavidez too. Yeah, everybody got to get the smoke. If guys can beat Terence Crawford, they need to be fighting Benavidez too. That's what we doing now. If we making that normal, everybody got to do it. That's how you shut down the Benavidez versus Crawford talk. No, ain't nobody gonna put their fighter out there to fight Benavidez. Nobody. Nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's gonna do it. That shows you who's Hall of Fame and who's not at a certain level, and who's at a GOAT status and who's not. If your fighter can't jump up and fight a Benavidez, because I know a couple of fighters I know that jumped up and fought Benavidez. I seen Andre jump up and fight Benavidez. Yeah. And you got guys at 68 that didn't even want to fight Benavidez. Man, let it go, man. He's at 175 now. The guys at 68 didn't want no smoke. Period. It is what it is, man. We know the truth. I'm just being real. Any fighter that people say, "Oh, he can beat Terence Crawford," throw him in there with Benavidez then. Let's see how long that conversation lasts. That's how I feel about it. Because if this was a younger fighter than Terence Crawford, probably would be a more serious conversation. But the guys who are younger and that are bigger than a Terence Crawford, I don't know why they're not in the conversation. And that and they said they can beat him. You know, people saying Canelo old now. Yeah, fighters saying, "Oh man, Canelo, I can't move him in the ring. He's unstoppable." Now they're saying he old. No fans is gonna put their favorite fighter in the ring with Benavidez. So let's just stop the Terence Crawford stuff. Even if Terence Crawford go out there and fight a Benavidez and beat him, none of these other guys is gonna fight Benavidez. So what is it? That'll be a career ender for everybody. So let's just keep boxing going in the right direction. Because the worst scenario ever would be Terence Crawford beating Benavidez in a fight. If that was to happen, these other guys still ain't gonna beat Benavidez. So that would be the worst thing that could ever happen. Please don't dare this guy like that. Then that's gonna force everybody else who's smaller. They're gonna be like, "Oh, if Terence Crawford can do it, you can do it too." Then guys gonna start getting beat up, trying to be like Terence Crawford. Better hold on to what you got. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's not even a real conversation. I had to really sit back and think about it, bro. All that would do It's messed up a lot of careers. If you got guys at 68 that's not trying to fight Benavidez, let's move on. I'm just being real. Yeah, I don't know if yeah, people don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. I know people are looking for a reason to roll Benavidez against Terrence Crawford, but it's not realistic. It's just not realistic. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna put their favorite fighter up against Benavidez, man. That's why it's just people throwing ideas out there. I can't take it serious. I definitely can't take it serious. I think right now boxing is getting to a point where okay, we know certain guys. Well, it's bad that we actually know that certain guys will do things that others won't. But you got to start pointing it out if it's gonna be obvious like that. Like, oh yeah, he should fight Benavidez. Why these other guys ain't never been discussed with a Benavidez? They don't take Terrence Crawford to be mentioned with him to make other guys get brave and fight him. If you're considered better than the Terrence Crawford or can beat him, I feel like you should be in the conversation with a Benavidez too. That's the only way because when Charlo was in the conversation, they were like, "Nah, man, he's too small." I'm like, "Let's do that 160." But yeah, like Dark King said, he said Floyd not above criticism of his resume comparison to other greats. I don't really even be looking at resume stuff too much. I mean, it all depends, especially these days, because certain guys ain't fighting all the same people. But I don't know. You know, people sensitive when it comes to Floyd when the conversation is about him, except when Tank dissing him. When Tank dissing him, everybody like agree, but when it comes to like any, especially I guess Terrence Crawford, it's not even a comparison. Like, who you gonna compare Terrence Crawford to? Manny Pacquiao? By doing what? Can't even compare him to nobody. But yeah, it kind of throws me off a little bit when I see that. But yeah, that's real talk though. I don't see any fighters right now that when Terrence Crawford ends up hanging it up, that's gonna sit up here and put on size and step to a Benavidez. And I don't see fans asking for that to happen eventually, anyways. So with Terrence Crawford being asked to do that, man, please. He need to be getting paid like Canelo just did. Yeah, that's crazy. That's even serious at this point. But I did see something. I seen Oscar De La Hoya. I got it on my phone too. Because Oscar De La Hoya, he was criticizing the fight. And then he said Terrence Crawford will win. But he said that after saying the size was too much though. He switched it up, but he said at one point the size was too much. Yeah, he definitely said the size was too much at one point. Yeah, Oscar was giving out credit, and he also said back in May that if Terrence Crawford was to beat Canelo, give him greatest fighter ever. He said give him greatest fighter ever if he's able to beat Canelo. And he said Canelo's gonna be 200 pounds in the ring. Oscar saying something different now though, right? He said Canelo will be 200 when he fights uh Terrence Crawford. And if Terrence Crawford beats him, he'll be the greatest fighter ever. I'm pretty sure he didn't think it'll happen, but yeah, that's definitely what he said. I'm gonna read the words. He said if Crawford can do it, Jesus Lord. I mean, give this man the title of being the greatest ever. But I just don't see it. Canelo's a big puncher. Yeah, he walks on quicksand, and that's one thing that Crawford can use against him. But the pressure of the heavier guy, Canelo will be 200 in that ring. He said it's a tough fight, but look, I'll give all the credit to Crawford. If he pulls it off, he'll be the messiah of fighters. Oh man, that's crazy. Isn't that wild? Terrence Crawford is at that level now, man. He's at that level now. I know people want to say, "Oh man, it's gonna take this type of fight and that one." That's cool. I understand people are saying that, but it's over with, man. He gonna continue to fight, but as far as needing to prove anything, he's past that. Definitely past that. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely gonna be looking into. I want to see everybody kind of press on this Benavidez and Crawford issue. I'm not really even angry about the talks about it. I just want to see if one day is everybody else gonna be included in that kind of conversation. If they're that good. I think as time go on, you're gonna probably see less guys jumping weight classes because it's not that easy as people think. Because even now with Terrence Crawford doing it, we see that it's not easy. You only have a select few of guys who doing it a certain way, like Benavidez and Haney, Crawford. I know Shakur about to make a jump, but you're gonna see less of it though, as far as the jumps they moving. But Benavidez is a big dude, man. Especially after Benavidez fought Andre, we seen how everybody looked at the fight. I seen how everybody was after he fought Andre. People was like, "No, man, he too big." And that's kind of what showed everything as far as how good Benavidez was. And Andre was a guy who moved up. So when people said, was Canelo gonna get credit? What you mean was Canelo gonna get credit for that fight? Benavidez got credit for being Andre. That was a guy who moved up. So he definitely would have got credit. That's why Crawford getting this win is enormous, especially for the next generation. It's gonna be hard to duplicate this. And then why people are making it so easy to get certain big fights? It seemed like with Crawford, he had to jump through loopholes or beat certain people to get certain fights. Now people are just lining certain guys up with him or anybody else, where it's like, oh yeah, get him to fight, get him to, like, bro, what they do to earn these fights, and he had to go through all that to get a fight. Yeah, he's the only one pushing the standard right now, though. I would say right now in the standard of boxing, Terrence Crawford is the standard in boxing. That's like the highest compliment you can have. Like when you think of this era of boxing, you're gonna think about how he was moving, what opponents he was fighting, the age he was at. This is different than anybody's done. Yeah, this is definitely different. I've never seen a guy move like this. It's- Since like Roy, Roy Jones was doing it. It was definitely different. That's the way I see it. Other guys get credit too, but yeah, Roy Jones was just different though. That's what I kind of see from this run Terrence Crawford making right now. And it's not easy, but he just then talking about going to 60. It's not an easy weight class. We seen Sherrod just have a tough fight at 60, so 60 is not a easy weight class. Yeah, that's definitely not an easy weight class. But as I see it though, it seems like everybody want a payday from Crawford though, which is not, that's boxing, but to say that's what he was in it for, nah. That's the only reason I look at it that way, because when you think about the things people said about Terrence Crawford getting certain fights, it was always, oh, he need the money. It was always he need the money. Never about a win. Yeah, always about the money. And the boxing world is definitely shook right now. Right now, if it's not Benavidez that can get Crawford, they like, ah, man. If it's not Benavidez, then I don't know who. Which is crazy. But yeah, man, if you look back, Terrence Crawford has cleared out a whole era of boxers. He's not gonna have the same kind of things said about him as other boxers. By the time he hangs it up, you're gonna realize he's beating everybody. Yeah, they're gonna look back and say, man, he's beat everybody. They surprised now. But yeah, they got this news with Adamas and Janovic coming out as far as them fighting. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew Janovic was gonna end up fighting somebody. I didn't know if it was gonna be Lara or what, but well, I knew he wasn't gonna fight Lara. But I knew he had to make a move soon. I think dude was really waiting on Canelo though, because this news came out right after the Canelo fight with Crawford. But they already said Shiraz had a better chance of getting that fight than Janovic did. So, but it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. Terrence Crawford going to 160 is going to be huge for boxing. It's still a big buzz after the fight. Still a big buzz. A lot of people tuned in to watch that fight. Yeah, I'm still excited about the fight, man. That was a perfect performance. It definitely was. But at this point now, are they trying to get him beat? It look like they're trying to get this man beat. It's not even certain matchups that's making sense. I just want to see him at 160 at this point. Yeah, I knew 54 was gonna be hard though. 54 a tough division to fight in, especially with the weight. It's not easy to move up and down that weight like that at 54. You saw how Bochuck was when he fought Fox. Dude was like 160. Then just lost to Adams. Yeah, 54 ain't easy. Some guys look a lot stronger at 60. You might see Bochuck move up to 60 soon. Yeah, you definitely might see him move up. But yeah, everybody right now in boxing, the fighter that people can get the biggest payday with right now out of anybody is Terrence Crawford. So you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna be wanting to fight him. Like and Billy just said recently that no, not in Billy. It was a reporter that said a lot of people that's the reporter was interviewing in Billy. He said a lot of people said that Canelo was old and past his prime going into the fight. Man, this dude lying. Ain't nobody said Canelo was old and past his prime going into the fight. Dude just sat there and lied. Nobody said Canelo was old and past his prime going into the fight with Terence Crawford. Matter of fact, after the William Skull fight, I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna say nothing about how he wasn't chasing him down. Man, nah, nobody cared. I thought he looked bad in that fight. But he actually looked better in the Crawford fight, though. Especially his stamina. He didn't get tired. Just didn't have the skills to get it done. But the thing is, he can still fight Benavidez. If I'm Canelo, hey, he can still go up to 175. Maybe he's stronger at 175. I think they're trying to devalue Crawford's win because just because somebody got your number don't mean that you aren't good anymore. So it's almost like saying, "Oh, Crawford got the win. No way he could beat Canelo. So he got to be past his prime." Nah, he's not past his prime. If he was past his prime, he would have got knocked out. He just ain't. He just ain't Terrence Crawford. Oh yeah, they got this press conference with Tank coming up soon. We go ahead and repost this real quick so people can see it. Yeah, I think 160 gonna be crazy with Crawford though. Yeah, I would like to see him fight Lard. That would be huge. Yeah, I definitely like to see him fight Lard. I think that would be a good fight. Yeah, but I don't see nobody at nobody below 160 doing what Crawford did at 68. If they could have, they would have moved up already. And a lot of guys at 60 ain't. Come on, man. Canelo ain't lost a fight at 168. They talking about he was old. He ain't lost a fight at 68 yet. I mean, how long it take to find somebody to beat him at 168? What's up, J Man? What's going on? Shout out to J Man. I'm just reposting this Tank Davis press conference with Jake Paul right now on the post. I want to see what kind of questions they're gonna ask Tank Davis today. You know they're gonna ask some tough questions. They're gonna definitely ask some tough questions against Tank Davis. I don't know what kind of media they're gonna have in there though. It's in Florida. It's in New York. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna ask some tough questions. It might be some fluff. Turn this up. Yeah, it might be some fluff. I don't know. They gotta ask some tough questions out there. But with Terrence Crawford at 160, he gonna get that division going. It's gonna be a lot of guys you're gonna see moving to 160 in the next couple of months. With Terrence Crawford making his move, you're gonna see a lot of guys at 54 probably move up. I don't think it's gonna be big names, but it'll be some big enough names to where you might see a Tim Zoo move up. You never know. Yeah, you could see a Tim Zoo move up to 160. Dude been at 54 for a minute. I know Vorchuk, man. It's about that time. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for these guys moving up though. But with Janovic making this fight with Adamas, yeah, you could tell he ready to move up. They starting to get 160 going, so he can make room for Terrence Crawford. I think at this point everybody knows that already. But one thing I'm starting to hear right now, I'm starting to realize, I don't know what's gonna happen with that Bivol and Bitterbill situation at 175. I know he fighting in November, but they haven't been. They trying to have Benavidez going back and forth from two divisions. I'm trying to see what other guys that feel like they can beat Terrence Crawford would go in the ring with Benavidez. I can't name not one person. That's why I feel like that matchup is not even realistic. I mean, it could happen, but it's not realistic. It's something that nobody else is even trying to think of for no amount of money. So to put Crawford in that situation, yeah, man, they just trying to get a L on the resume. Because I didn't even realize to the day, but yeah, the size differences that Terrence Crawford is fighting at now is crazy. Because Floyd didn't fight Triple G, and Triple G was a 160. And that was a guy Canelo held his own against, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Floyd ain't fight Triple G. That 160, 168 thing ain't easy. If it was, I'm telling you, those weight classes are easy. No matter what anybody say about Canelo, his age or how slow he is, man, he beating guys up. He beating a lot of guys up right now. Terrence Crawford. So at 168, they making it seem like, oh, that been an easy weight class. The man went undefeated at 168 up until this fight. My thing is the way people moving now. They feel like they don't want to get Bivol in. I already said it last year. They feel like they don't want to get Bivol in the ring with Benavidez. It just don't. For some reason, they ain't trying to make that Benavidez a Bivol fight. They could have made that fight so many times. They really could have. Because I think Benavidez sparred him before Canelo even fought him. So yeah, he was always trying to get in the ring with Bivol, but yeah, that was one time Canelo should have just stayed away from moving up. But it seemed like they don't want to have Benavidez around Bivol, man. Not too much talk around that. Every time, it's always, oh, go do something else away from that situation. They should have the how many minutes they got? 10 minutes. They should have the rematch happen, or just try to have Benavidez as a undisputed at 175. That's all I'm looking for. And Amanda's at 175. That's the crazy part. Benavidez is at 175, and they looking at him to fight Crawford. They desperate out here. That lets you know right there, ain't nobody trying to step to Benavidez anytime soon. We're gonna have this yard fight. He gonna fight the generation now, but the one behind him, man, they ain't trying to step to this dude, man. I done already seen it at 68. When you have a guy like Benavidez at 68, man, you supposed to have guys calling him out. Like, man, I'm gonna fight him. You didn't hear a lot of that. Most of these guys was like, "Oh, I'll fight Canelo," chasing the payday, and those same guys gonna chase the payday with Crawford. It just happened. Yeah, they will fight Canelo or Crawford, but no, I wouldn't fight Benavidez. So yeah, you can't even entertain that. All Crawford did was get in the same situation as Canelo. He can do whatever he want. Really, at this point, what mandatories in his career? When you doing the things he's doing, you don't need a mandatory. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at things. He making it harder for a lot of other people coming behind him because it's not gonna get easy. Now you see a lot of people getting more used to guys jumping weight classes. They gonna be like, man, well Crawford used to do it. Shh. That's how Roy Jones got things started. I think a lot of people gonna have trouble adjusting. A lot of guys, and they starting to fight a little bit more now too. I don't think they're gonna fight more times a year, but I'm talking about just more structure. Like, you know when the schedule is or when guys gonna possibly step in the ring around every 6 months, hopefully. Yeah, but they got a lot of fights they talking about right now. Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, he trying. I was trying to say a question. The media was asking, but he ain't answered the question. But yeah, they got this tank press conference. Coach Calvin showing up to the press conference. I wonder how that's gonna go. They better go in there asking the questions too, man. Like questions we can really get some info from. I don't know why it looked like they was in New York on that one picture, but they in Florida. No, they are in New York. I'm tripping. Yeah, they are in New York. It's the press conference. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I just came on and chop it up a little bit before this press conference started. I wasn't even gonna watch. I forgot it was coming on. Kept popping up. I'm like, oh, they come on today? Probably ain't gonna learn much from it. When they have any kind of press conference with Jay Paul, you ain't gonna learn much. Especially not in the first press conference. But man, I'm just as far as that fight, I just want to see what Tank weigh as far as the weigh in when he fights Jay Paul. Cause to take this fight and come in at a low weight, come on, man. You taking all the risks. But over the next couple of months, though, they got a lot of big fights coming on, man. Like Lubin and Virgil Ortiz. You got this Fundora, Keith Thurman. 54 starting to make some moves now. I think now that we know Terrence Crawford is going to 160, I think 154 gonna start to mix it up a little bit more. That's what I'm waiting on. I think that Virgil Ortiz and Lubin fight gonna be good though. That's one I'm actually looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Fundora and Thurman, but Lubin and Ortiz is a little different. It's a little different. Fundora and Thurman is different too because they haven't faced two guys like each other, but um, Ortiz and Lubin is very tough fight. Very tough. It seems like Lubin always has these fights where it's a tough guy trying to make that next step. Yeah, he has a lot of B side fights too. I don't think he was B side in the last fight, but fought a guy who was undefeated. I mean, yeah, he's definitely undefeated. So when you see stuff like that, you definitely gotta give guys credit. But 54, they starting to make a lot of moves, man. And it's good that boxing That's why I say Terrence Crawford is basically the face of boxing because when you have a lot of these divisions waiting on his move, like what is he gonna do at 54? Is he gonna come back or at 60? You see the moves he's making. So yeah, I definitely like how in control Terrence Crawford is of the boxing world right now. Like every move he makes affects boxing. That's when you know you're really the face of boxing. Because Canelo used to make moves where it'll affect the whole boxing world, but the last three or four moves ain't affected nothing. So he lost that a while ago. Yeah, Terrence he already been in that situation in that spot, but people haven't realized it yet because Crawford versus Boots at a certain point has became, well, even now is a higher demanded fight than Benavidez and Canelo. Don't really demand nothing on Canelo. They'll accept, but they don't demand. Even now, not really any options out there for being said for Canelo right now. So yeah, that just shows you who's in charge right now. Man, it's wild. I can't believe this man got a press conference with Jay Paul. That's crazy. This man having a press conference with Jay Paul in the middle of his career. I ain't seen so many passes for one boxer ever. That's why I said Tank be getting more passes than Floyd, man. This man having an exhibition in the middle of his career. He hasn't even had a De La Hoya type of fight yet. Well, they try to say the Ryan fight was like that. Nah, bro. De La Hoya was a made man by the time he fought Floyd. You can't compare the two. Yeah, numbers don't equal greatness. Yeah, I want to hear the questions they're gonna ask in this press conference though. Are they gonna talk about that roast fight? Most likely no. I think they're gonna have a set of rules probably, but they don't ask about that fight. Strictly just this fight. Most of these questions might just be about this fight, and that's it. I don't know. A fight like this, it can get your name out there. The only reason I think Tank taking this fight is to get his name out there. They're saying for money, but I think he's doing this more for publicity. To be honest with you, I'm just being honest. This ain't got nothing to do with skill, anyways. I know people ain't. I know Tank ain't taking this fight to see how good he is. I know people will be like publicity. What? This ain't no skill contest right here to see how good he is. He's not gonna prove how good he is by knocking out Jake Paul. That just that would never change things. But for entertainment, yeah, it's definitely something you'll watch just to see. Oh, would he get the knockout? But yeah, most people were saying, "Oh, guys are just watching to see if he win." Nah, they expect him to win. They want to see if he get the knockout. But as I said before, he should have fought Terrence Crawford, man. People did not want to bring up Terrence Crawford's name this time. When Terrence Crawford fought not Madrimal, Earl Spence, they said, "Oh, Crawford should fight Tank." They ain't say that this time. They know better. But they letting them fight Jake Paul, which is crazy. That's why I said these fans, they casuals, but not really, man. They be knowing what's going on, bro. 'Cause if they was really casual, they'll be like, "Oh, Tank should fight Usyk or something like that, or he should fight Wilder." They ain't saying nothing like that. Knowing Jake Paul is 200 pounds, 200 something pounds too. So they be knowing the weights, man. They be knowing what time it is. They got this press conference starting right on time. That's crazy. Hey, you know what? You know this ain't no. You know Tank at the A side of this. They got the press conference starting on time. Yeah, this should be a good one though. I just want to hear him actually uh, answer some questions, but I don't think it's gonna be that. It might be just some back and forth, and it might be some. I had said to Jake stuff like that. Now, if you see how big this dude is, somebody said Tank is 5'2". Yeah, I can't believe this dude gonna get in the ring with him. They talking about Terrence Crawford trying to get a payday fighting Canelo. Man, this is a payday. Whoever said that is dumb. This is a payday. And they don't need, and you know what's crazy? When they say that this is a payday, right? They're like, yeah, he deserves a payday. Like, I never go against a fighter getting paid. Man, please. They didn't win against Andre, talking about he looking for a payday. That's where it came from. Canelo talking about he looking for a payday. Like he wasn't on the zone get paid like you. But yeah, this is strictly a payday though. That's why bro can't be the face, man. You can't be the B side getting that. Somebody said Tank should be the A side. Should be the A side. This man can't fight on Netflix by himself. How you gonna be the A side? Yeah, I don't think people realize this fight happened because of Jake Paul being the A side. They're gonna do a face off. That's gonna be crazy. In the same month, Devin Haney he gonna go through a war 2 weeks after this fight. No, not 2 weeks. I'm tripping. Is it a week after the fight? He gonna go through a war, and this man gonna fight Jay Paul. Man, don't put that man in the conversation ever again with a Devin Haney. If Devin Haney was doing this fight, even after what Devin Haney has done in his career, if he was like, man, let me go ahead and get a Jake Paul fight real quick, man, fans would be losing their mind right now. That's how I said people be switching sides, bro. They definitely play sides. I forgot who they said Haney was gonna fight um as a fight last year. It was like a rumor after the Ryan Garcia fight. People was like, nah, man, we don't want to see that fight. It might have been Liam Farrow or something. It was a name like that. It was like, man, we don't want to see that fight. So to see this is just outrageous. I don't even know who on this fight card. Who gonna be on this fight card? Yeah, I haven't even looked into that. Look like it's gonna start soon. But yeah, man, Terrence Crawford. This is why, at the end of the day, man, this is why Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing right now. Because ain't nobody trying to take no challenges, man. It's not that easy. They gotta they gotta change the definition of a payday too. This is a real deal payday. They got Jake Paul coming. uh, Still got on the fur. Oh, they got Jake Paul sitting on the right side. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a huge size difference. Yeah, if Jake go out there and this is an exhibition, so it's not really gonna count towards anything. But it'll be a bad look to go out there and see Tank get dropped out of the dude. I'll just say that. It's a big dude too. Anything can happen. It could be a slip or something. Yeah, they got this going on in New York. Oh, this press conference look kind of weak right now. I'm not gonna lie. Man, they got Tank coming out. uh, Stu finna fight J Paul. That's crazy. They got the press conference about to start. Dang. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to it. We're gonna be back on later after this press conference. We're gonna check this out. What Dark King said, some seem to think that Tank was too young to fight Bud when they were in the same weight class. It's a possibility it was. I wouldn't cap about that. But it's a possibility. If you look at the years, it's possible. But I think back then Matias had a better chance to fight Crawford than Tank did. But as far as right now, well not right now, but when Spence fought when Terrence Crawford fought Spence, Tank could have definitely stepped in around that time. He had already adjusted to Barrios. Barrios had went on to dominate Ugas. Around that time, Tank could have made a move. And Terrence Crawford wasn't winning a whole bunch of rounds at 47 like that too. You know, he was just cruising. He wasn't really he was cruising, man. He was having fun. That's what it really was going on. So if I was Tank, I was like, yeah, this is a good time. Man, they didn't want that smoke. Tank know what time it was, bro. Cause I think they had Crawford down in the Porter fight. That's when he went out there and stopped him. But that was because that was Sean Porter though. Sean Porter was hard to beat, whether people realize it or not. But yeah, Tank definitely if he's taking this fight, he's not too small, man. It's a big dude. Yeah, I can't believe this fight is happening though. Oh, you said what channel? Let me get a link for you. Uh it's on that MVP promotions. Let me get it. I'm putting it in the chat. Yeah, it's on that MVP promotions. I want to see what they're gonna talk about in this press conference. They don't got the coaches out there, nothing. It's like an orientation. Yeah, I don't think Tank putting on no size or nothing, but he definitely ain't walking around with. Yeah, that's great. Not even on PBC. I ain't even think about that, J man. Dude, not even on PBC. uh, he say he not even on PBC. Yeah, man. I mean, I think Tank doing this. Really, I think this fight is to get him even bigger before he get into these other fights. Cause no way, we're just talking about the bread. But Mike Tyson did say something about the money thing though recently. So I would say that is true on the money end. The money do talk all the time now. But yeah, I don't know, man. You can get in a fight like this and lower your value. Tank standing up talking to Jake. So this dude's short, man. He the same height he is sitting down. So, yeah, I saw Espinoza. Hey, he was on Sway in the morning recently. I was like, look at Espinoza. Take the same height. That's funny. It said look red. Yeah, this ain't. I don't know how he gonna do this, bro. Oh, 3 minute rounds. Okay, 10 3 minute rounds. If they gonna go through all this to try to make the fight, you should just went to another country to do all that. They would have probably gave him a permission to put the fight on. But yeah, this don't. They look like they're not even interested in this matchup, man. Yeah, he might as well just show up for check day. This ain't nothing but a check. It's gonna be like Kimbo boxing in the backyard, man. Yeah, Tank look like he ain't even. He look like he just ready to dip out. They need to go ahead and just make a. They need to go ahead and make this quick. Just do 1 or 2 press conferences. Wait till the fight get here, and that's it. That's crazy. This man finna fight J Paul. Yeah, I saw that. Tank was same height when he stood up. That's why I said, bro, he done, man. He gonna mess around, and go out there and get clocked, man. Jake Paul taller than this man sitting down. It's over. Yeah, Jake trying to make himself look small with the fur on. You know, you about 225 right now. I ain't gonna lie, man. I forgot who brought up that Logan Paul Mayweather fight. But man, whoever said that was right on point, man. Right before whoever said that, right before they said that, I seen the clip like a day or two before that. Man, he gonna try to go out there like a Logan Paul. You're gonna have so many people like Jake, please knock out Tank. Please. Just try to go out there and do it. It's gonna be funny. Tank gonna be trying to clinch. That's gonna be the funniest part. Tank trying to clinch Jake Paul with some gloves on. Yeah, Jake gonna try to throw haymakers though. He gonna try to land some. I know Tank got power, but the chin, I don't know. After that Lamont Rose fight, it got serious. I know Brian Custer asking some good questions right now. I thought this gonna be strictly about Jake Paul. They ain't gonna ask no Lamont Rose question. You probably ain't gonna hear Lamont Rose name not one time. What you say? You gotta watch out for Jake Paul size of power. Jake Paul said it's gonna be a true boxing fight. And the energy of this press conference flat, man. It's like a pandemic press conference. They should have had this outside since it's still warm. Jay Paul say he gonna outbox Tank Davis. Yeah, they just gonna build it up. Talking about this fight. That's it. Tank say he ain't gonna outbox me. Yeah, they just talking about the fight, man. Custer gonna be smart about it. He ain't gonna ask too many questions about the last fight he had with Lamont Roach, which is smart. They trying to move away from that best they can. They said the fight will be at a catch weight of 195. I don't know how that's gonna work. Yeah, that's crazy. Man, it's about to be a sparring match, man. Let's be real. It's about to be a sparring match, man. He said he's sparring 8-year-olds to get ready for Tank. Tank said he gonna beat up Jake Paul. Tank got her throwing threats at Jake Paul. Said let anything happen. He said let something happen. Hey man, this gonna be an exhibition like I don't know what. Tank don't want Jake Paul to throw a punch. Jake Paul said he gonna knock out Tank. Hey, he said what the look what 135 Lamont Roach did to him. uh, Jake Paul said he couldn't do nothing with 135 Lamont Roach. Oh man. Jake Paul trying to go there with Tank. Jake Paul going that Tank now. He said Jake Paul going that Tank for real. That man done brought up Roach. Him beating up girls, allegedly. Jake Paul got Jake Paul got Tank over here thinking. I'm surprised Tank ain't jumped up yet. Oh, they got a whole bunch of randoms asking questions. Uh oh. Tank said he don't care about what fans think about Roach. He said everybody switching their favorite fighter every year. He said everybody need to sit back and be fans, enjoy the sport. He said people be talking about personal lives when it comes to that. He said people want to see him lose. He said people start hating on Floyd. I don't think it's people started hating on Floyd. I think more people wanted to see Floyd lose already. I don't think people want. Yeah, they talking crazy, bro. Shout out to J Man. It's entertaining right now. Jake Paul turning it up now. Jake Paul turning it up. Like we got these press conferences. Jake Paul, he be talking that. Somebody in Tigers he gonna get knocked out by Jake Paul. He playing with a balloon, just laughing. He saying he don't care. That man, just move on, man. Thanks. Do that same question twice. That's a good question. He say he manifested a knockout against Tank. That's funny. Jake said I manifested a knockout. Uh, I ain't gonna lie, he knock out Tank, bro. That'd be. Jake Paul funny, man. Tank ain't talking that trash though. What's going on? Tank got to laying down a little bit. Oh yeah, Tank said they came in here with the offer to fight Jay Paul. He took it. Man, I don't know if he can knock out no Jake Paul though. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Jake Paul ain't never been knocked out though. I forgot about that. But he ain't really fought nobody who could knock him out, really. Let's be real. Who he fought could knock him out? The closest person was what? We thought Mike. Mike had 2 rounds. He took a knee in the last fight. He said he took a knee in the last fight. Javante. Dang. Oh yeah, let me put this yeah, this getting funny as I don't know what. This is hilarious. Let me put this up here so people know. He said he was trying to fight somebody his age. Jay Paul got super low standards. I just trying to fight somebody my age. Not somebody my size or my age. Jay Paul, yeah, Jay Paul's hilarious, bro. Nah, definitely not. He said he finna beat Terrence and Canelo numbers? Nah. That's in November. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. And this is on a Friday. I don't know. This guy said it's reported said Jake Paul is putting boxing on the map. Dude said Jake Paul is putting boxing on the map. He said, hold on. He said, hold on, Javante. I just want to tell Jake Paul what he's doing for boxing and putting boxing on the map. That's the most disrespectful thing you can do to Tank right now. And that man just did it. He said, hold on, Tank. I just want to tell Jake Paul what he's doing for boxing right now. Yeah, that dude's insane, man. Ain't nobody finna answer that. Ain't no this dude talking about some they finna ain't nobody care about that question, man. These Jake Paul said the numbers. Yeah, this is bad right here, y'all. Be honest with you. Yeah, this is bad, man. That was funny though. Jake Paul was they took some shots at him. Tank showed Jake Paul too much respect just then. Jake Paul is hilarious. Look at the size difference, bro. Then he came out the shirt. Yeah, Jake Paul ain't that tall, no, taller than him. It ain't that much of it ain't that much of a height difference. Well, it is. I ain't tripping like that. I'm talking about it is a height difference, but no, it ain't that much of a height difference. It could have been crazier than that. But the size difference, yeah. See, they had like Tank tiny or something. Yeah, Tank definitely ain't tiny though. Trust me, he ain't gonna come in there at no small weight. He gonna make sure. Yeah, man, he should have definitely. That was a boring press conference, though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. They could have definitely had more going on than that. They're gonna have another one tomorrow. That man said Tank is getting knocked out. Tank said he gonna beat the brakes off Jake Paul though. Tank said he gonna beat the brakes off of Jake Paul. Yeah, I don't know how much interest they got in that fight right there, bro. It looks so put together for real. I mean, it is, but yeah, that looks so put together. Yeah, but it still don't want to make you watch the fight though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was more interesting, but still don't make you want to watch the fight. They fighting at 195. That's crazy, man. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for following through though, man. He said Tank looked so uncomfortable in that press conference. You know he sold out for the bag. Yeah, he looked like he didn't even want to be there. I appreciate everybody for coming through though. I'm gonna holler at you guys later on.